Hey guys, welcome back to another video by Fully Informed Trade, or Fitrade for short, knowledge for everyone. My name is Alex Cho, and today I'm just going to go ahead and review some specific stocks in the silver sector, and go ahead and talk about some gold, commodities in regards to gold and silver, and review the dollar in correlation to the silver and gold market. So, silver right now is currently trading at around $38.49. Now let's go ahead and look at the dollar index, and you can see that the dollar and the silver market are kind of moving in the same exact direction. And if you see these two markets moving in the same exact direction, it is kind of weird, kind of awkward, and it's just not a very comfortable position to be in, myself personally. However, the move has just been very gradual. It has gone up by around 20 cents from the lows. I mean, we've been able to touch this double bottom area and have been able to pivot off of it. And pretty much the markets that were affected by it was pretty much the stock market. Stock market was negative and a little flat. We didn't get much. We didn't get a whole lot of Federal Reserve manipulation to this market, and even if it did, it didn't really have much of a long-term impact on it. You kind of got an inverse head and shoulder going on for you right now. I'm just going to go ahead and point it out for you guys in the dollar index. Inverse. You got that shoulder right there, and then you got the head right here, and then you got your shoulder right here. So I'm not sure if you guys notice it, but yeah, if I zoom in a little closer, this is pretty much your inverse head and shoulder right here. And pretty much when you're in this position, you pretty much got to assume that a break above this right here, the 75.96 level, is going to be major. And let's go ahead and move it over to a 10-minute chart so you guys get an even better idea. And pretty much, we've had no real confirmation above the neckline. But once you get a confirmation above the neckline, you could easily see this market trade back up into the 76.60 area. So that just gives you a basic idea. You've got some areas of resistance along the way. And the markets that will most likely be moved to the upside would probably be the US dollar Japanese yen pair. And also the US dollar, the Euro US dollar will most likely pull back if in the case this neckline is broken. So I just want to go ahead and go over that with you. And if you get any drastic move in the dollar to the upside, chances are silver and gold will have a moderate to severe reaction. But right now you're not seeing that in the silver or gold market. In fact, silver and gold are just moving up. If you guys look at the 3-month chart, you guys are seeing that there's just a bunch of demand, pent-up demand. I mean, people just want to buy it. It doesn't matter if this gold. It doesn't matter if the dollar pulls back or if the dollar regains some of its strength. Silver investors still want to buy. And basically, if the dollar, my whole experience with the silver market is this: if the dollar goes down and it continues to lose value, you buy silver. If the dollar appreciates, you don't short silver. So pretty much those are the rules in the silver market. Basically, is that you use the dollar as a reason to buy, but you don't use the dollar as a reason to short, and that will keep you out of a lot of bad trades and keep you in on a lot of the good trades as well. So, but you would use the dollar to keep you out of bad trades. Like today, I wouldn't have bought the silver market because the dollar was going up moderately. Yeah, sure, silver is going up too, but I didn't really have a very good reason to be buying silver anyway. So I just want to go ahead and point that out to you guys that the correlations do work. They usually do work. You just use them in specific circumstances. You don't, as long as you don't use use the dollar as a reason to short, then you should keep yourself out of a lot of bad trades. And if you just use the dollar as a reason to buy only into silver, then chances are you'll make a lot of good trades in it. Now let's go ahead and look at the gold market. Now gold's very interesting. Gold has been trading relatively flat. If you guys go ahead and look at the day's trading session, you guys will see that ever since 10 a.m. the gold market has taken a pummeling, and the gold market and the dollar index do have a closely that correlation does resemble one another much better, because gold is seen as safety, as a storehouse of security, a third currency, or the currency that's supposedly better than all the others. And well, you know what? I'm not gonna pull any of that junk you see on YouTube where you see a bunch of people saying, "Oh man, silver is the greatest thing ever." Blah 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 blah. You know what? I'm not that type of person. I'm here to analyze. And basically, the point here is that the dollar has gained strength, and pretty much gold pulls back on that. Now, Like I'm saying, I'm only here to analyze. You guys could probably come to your own conclusion. You guys are probably smarter than I am. I'm not sure, but pretty much, you guys see this key trend line right here, right? And pretty much, if you get a break below that key trend line, chances are the gold market will continue going lower. So as long as the U.S. dollar index breaks this neckline. See, you guys got these two monstrous, very important technical indicators. One right here is the inverse head and shoulder pattern, and you got a pennant pattern right here for the gold spot on the XAU USDO, which is pretty much the forex gold market. And the forex gold market is much more important than the forex or than the futures gold market. And the main reason why is that forex gold spot does get far more liquidity, and I tend to see that the forex gold market is the one that people tend to follow much more in terms of pricing on gold, more so than the gold futures. And also, gold futures tend to follow the gold forex. So, again, the markets with the most liquidity are generally the ones that are much more accurate in pricing a market, generally speaking. Now, when looking at this, a break below this would require, let's say, a 10-minute. Let's go to the 10-minute chart. And you have to see basically a candlestick close right below this trend line. You can't see none of this jig-jaggedy, basically a candlestick touch. That doesn't really cut it. You'd have to see this market actually close right below this trend line. And that in turn will make the gold trade a very, very good short. Now, I do like shorting the gold market when the dollar index does go up, because gold and the dollar index are very, very closely correlated. It's when you look at silver. I mean, silver just goes up. It just goes up. It doesn't matter. I mean, it just went up the whole day, even though the dollar index is going up the whole day. So that correlation it holds when like you'll see silver go up when the dollar weakens, but you also see silver go up even when the dollar doesn't weaken. So that just comes to show that the correlations don't always work with silver. But at the same time, as long as you use the correlations right, you only use the correlation as a reason to buy into silver, then chances are you're not going to lose as much money as the amateurs who use silver in both directions, or use the dollar in both directions. Now, gold is a different story. Gold does tend to correlate very closely with the dollar. Alright, so now you got your information on the gold market. Because of that, we do have some key things in the silver market. Silver stocks are going through the roof. Like if you guys look at Freeport-McMoRan, pretty much it is pulling back a bit, and pretty much that's because Freeport-McMoRan is a lot more diversified. But pretty much, yeah, you see gold pull back a bit, you see copper pull back a little bit, and yeah, obviously Freeport-McMoRan is going to take a beating, as it has already for these last couple months. However, it did find somewhat of support on the 200-day moving average off of Japan, the whole entire issue, after of course, investors stopped taking the whole entire thing so seriously up the butt, and people started buying back into stocks. Obviously, Freeport-McMoRan did get a huge bounce from $48 all the way into the $55 area. Now, as far as technicals are concerned, I would watch out for this area right here. If you don't ever get a close above it, that pretty much implies that you really can't be you can't be too certain that this will hold. It could also pull back from this area, so keep that one in mind. The stock is very correlated to the copper and gold market, more so than silver, so just gotta watch this very closely now. Always remember, you have to close right above this trend line. If it doesn't close above it, don't buy into it. Next, Pan American Silver. Now, because there's so much demand for silver, there's a lot of speculation. People are thinking that if there's one commodity that I could own and make a lot of money off of, it's obviously going to be silver. It's this typical tulip mania mentality, and I'm not trying to call out people and say that you're a schmuck, but at the same time, I am going to point out that you guys are in the phase where there's a lot of speculation, hype, and greed. And the higher it goes, the greedier people get, and the more blinded they are by the amount of money they can earn. But aside from that fact, because there's plenty of demand for silver, whether it be in China, the US, or anywhere else in the world, I do believe Pan American Silver, the silver company that I really like, is probably going to go up even higher, and the gold stocks are going to keep on pulling back for as long as the dollar continues going higher. So yeah, silver is not getting much of a reason to be bought into. Fundamentally speaking, it should be pulling back, but because there's so much demand for it, regardless of the risk, the currency risk associated with it, likewise, people are still buying into silver. Silver stocks go up and gold stocks have gone down for the day. Anyway, that does it for me for today. Stick with the silver stocks, avoid the gold stocks, and also buy silver, don't buy gold. In fact, if you're a short-term trader, you can even short gold for as long as that inverse head and shoulder does play out instead of the dollar index. The neckline is, if the neckline is broken, the pennant pattern in the gold spot will be broken as well. So that's the overall review of silver and gold for today. Thanks for going ahead and putting in some time to watch my video. If you guys like this stuff, keep on subscribing, keep on watching. And also, if you guys want to use the same exact charting software that I use, please be sure to check out the link below, as it will help you out a ton. Alright, that does it for me for today, guys. Take care.